G'day traders, welcome to a wrap up of Wednesday the 29th of February. So on this day we've finally got some sellers, which is fantastic to see. We've seen the market pull back and now we're really starting to see some movement and hopefully a great sign of things to continue. Just on the left hand side here we've got the 5-minute chart. So to start off the day it started to push higher and it looked like it want to have a go, and these buyers continue to come in, but that's when it all started to change in the early morning, and from there we saw this massive sell-off here. So I think about 4-5 power points were hit on the downsides. We're just basically waiting for this downtrended to finish. If you couldn't get on it right up the top, which I guess it's difficult to get on it right up here because we've seen these buyers all day every day to all of a sudden get on the sell side. You'd have to be very, very quick to get on it up here. So we saw the sell-off down here and then it started to pull back. So this is when we're starting to look for some opportunities once we get a pullback. It pulled back a good 1, 2, 3, 4 or 8 or so points here. So this is almost like a new trend forming here now, but it was still below the gap sort of area. So once we did see a little signal come up here, and this is technically a 5-minute fade where you look to buy. To me, this particular area, a little bit 50-50. There was a new trend forming, so yeah, it looked like the buyers were around, but we'll still, like I said, underneath that gap we had quite some heavy sellers, and in the back of my mind I thought they might want to continue to sell off. The other markets weren't really convincing either way, so it was a bit like a 50-50 area, but some of you might have taken it as a fade, but there's also argument to take it as a sell. Just depends on, I guess you just got to be very tight on your rules and know your system very well in these kind of situations. But so there was a bit of a setup there. Had a bit of a pullback, so like I said, we've seen a bit of an uptrend here, a pullback, and then a continuation of this trend. So for this area here, it started to get up around that yesterday's close area, and from there it looked like it might have wanted to head back up, and like the markets have been doing, is recovering from those sell-offs, and the buyers come back and take control. But that's where it all ended, and this is where we saw that definitely this second charge from the sellers means that maybe on the daily charts and the overall markets we are going to start to see some selling, which is good. And from there we sold off heavy, and there wasn't much of a pullback at all in regards to the 5-minute chart. The only opportunity being right at the top here, once you've got a bit of push down and a bit of a shoulder here, and then looking to get on and around this area here, as far as a bit of a directional setup. But once again, bit tough to find an opportunity on there because the downtrend happened quite quickly, and that's kind of the way it is with sellers. It happens very quickly, whereas the buyers, if you're looking at buy trends, you tend to get a little bit more of an opportunity. Looking at the 1-minute chart, a few more opportunities on 1-minute chart. This is obviously the sell-off we had, so we got down to the yellow. The yellow turned the market straight round. It just pushed through this purple power point. Normally the second power point after such a heavy downtrend, so after a trend of 10-15 points, look to go for the second power point, which would have been up around here, which I thought had a lot of value. Didn't quite get there. From there, here's this new trend forming, and the buy trend. Then a little bit of sideways action before it started to get back on the downside. And once again, we saw almost a 4 power point trend to the downside. Some opportunities at power fading, and then quite a decent sell-off right in the afternoon there, where we're sitting quite a fair bit off the daily highs, which is fantastic to see. Alright, so that's a wrap up for Wednesday, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.